Therese Snow is a 22-year industry veteran, colorist, educator, and co-owner of Casals Salon Collective in Arlington, Virginia. Last time we spoke, we learned all about her journey and how she got to becoming a salon owner and some of the steps she took along the way. Today, we're going to be talking about what is Casals Salon, what is the hiring process, expectations, offers, and vision of the future. Welcome back to the Hairdresser Strong Show. My name is Robert Hughes, and I'm your host. And today, I'm with Therese Snow. How are you doing, Therese?
Doing all right, Robert. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be back, and I'm excited to hear about your salon. So why don't we start off by giving just like a very quick recap, not necessarily a recap, but anybody who didn't see your last interview, could you give us a quick little introduction to you and you becoming a salon owner?
Yeah, my name is Therese Snow. I own Casals Salon Collective in Arlington, Virginia. Been in the industry 22 years, worked at the Casals Salon organization for 17 years, and in 2020 became co-owner of this location in Arlington, Virginia.
Awesome. And Therese was also an educator, and she currently teaches for what's it called, Color Space?
Color Space, yep.
Yeah, Color Space, traveling around to other salons. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your brand and give us an explanation of like how would you describe Casals Salon Collective?
Yeah. So, as I took over and became co-owner, I wanted to sort of rebrand to bring my stamp on the business. And because it had been in existence for so long in Ohio, it literally celebrating 30 years this year, I really wanted us to set us apart because we are different. We're in a different market, but we're a different group of people. So, I really have always thought about the salon, especially the one we're in, as just stylists, artists who like to come in, who love what they do, and go home and work together while they're in that building to achieve a customer experience, to express themselves via their art. We are semi-departmentalized, so when you come in, you kind of dictate your own path. It's very self-driven. What do you want to do? Do you want to do cut and color? Do you just want to style? Do you want to do keratins? Whatever you want to focus on, we want to help you grow in that. And so we have a lot of stylists who only cut, and then a lot of stylists who only color. We have some that do both. So it really, because of that semi-departmentalization, we come together. When the guest comes in, the cutter comes over to the colorist. We co-consult. We're creating this kind of look for the guest. We're working in tandem to create a finished product. And so in that sense, being a collective is just a collective of talented artists to achieve a goal.
Okay, cool. So if someone's listening to this and they're saying, I like this idea of collective, I like the idea of the teamwork, and well, what if what is the hiring process like? What if someone wanted to join the team? Let's just say like we can have maybe three different profiles. One is the rising stylist within, say, a year after graduation or while in school. You could have the seasoned stylist, someone who has been around and been in gaming for a while, but they're new to town and they don't have a clientele. And then what if someone came to you that was like, hey, I'm looking for a home, whether they're coming from a suite or from another salon, and they're looking to join your team? Can you tell us a little bit about what those processes would be like?
Yeah. The thing I like about working in Virginia is that for the rising stylist, there's really two paths. One is an apprenticeship within the salon, so they can get their entire schooling done through the salon. It's double the hours, but they're getting paid while they're going to school. So we just finished our third stylist through that program. And
Nice.
So it's an awesome, awesome way to really, they learn everything like hands-on, and it's really great. And then the rising stylist, we typically, so someone coming recent grad from a beauty school would come in, and we'd have some interviews, talk about what their goals are. If if it was mutual, where we know we can build upon this relationship, we bring them in, and if whatever they want to specify, like whether it's I want to do everything or I want to do color, I have them do a couple technicals. I assess where their skill set is there, talk to them about where they think they need improvement in order to feel comfortable and confident behind the chair, and we develop their path from there. We do have education every other Monday at the salon. Whether the thing I love about our team is another reason for the word collective. We have a core group of people who educate, but everybody shares. Even stylists, I have two girls that had recently, they've been on the floor maybe a year and 6 months. They teach all the time for me because they have great skill and things to share. And another young gal who came out of the gate knowing how to do barbering looks without ever having to attend school, not even a year on the floor, have her share and teach. So it's really I'm not a fan of hierarchical kind of systems especially within the salon. And so it's really, how can we help this stylist feel confident, expand their toolbox, and get them to a place where they are feeling ready to go on the floor.
Nice. So, so Rising Stylist, if you're in school, you come in and basically you do. So, do they bring in their own model, or do you so on a live person? Do you?
Yep.
And whatever you just kind of watch them.
Typically, it's either on a live model or mannequin, which is whatever they can. The first time, if they can't find a model, they could do a mannequin. If it's color, I'm typically looking for a dimensional application, whether it's highlights or balayage. A haircut, I'm looking for a one length kind of just execution. And I have a couple people within the salon that will check that and just kind of assess, okay, here's where we think their skill set is. And, sometimes, oftentimes, like, the stylist, the candidate thinks they're way worse than they are. And it's like, wait, you've got some natural skills here. You've really paid attention in school. Let's bring the confidence to that game. So, we like
okay.
that.
And then, so let's say, Rising Stylists, they want to know how long it's going to take until they get on the floor.
So
How do you answer that?
Yeah,
question?
I love that question because, before when our structure was very rigorous and it was a year to a year and a half and it was mannequin work. And for me, it was just counterproductive to see, because these aren't the same type of stylists coming out of school as it was 10 years ago, as it was 15 years ago. They have access to so much education and to practice, and they're brave to do their friends. So they come in with a lot more technical skill than in previous years. So the question is, for me, I pose back to them, how fast do you want to get on the floor? Because the rest of our program is them testing out or doing models. So finding, how aggressive are they in finding models? How aggressive are they in bringing them in? They can bring them in anytime they're off, anytime I pay them to bring in a model, anytime to excel their skill set. So it's a work. We have certain days of those Mondays where I will say, okay, models required for this technique. But throughout the day, if they're off on a Wednesday, they can be bringing in models all the time. And there's always someone there to guide them and help them. And so it's a two-way street. And I think giving them that accountability in their journey to the floor has been, for some, eye-opening of, oh wait, I haven't really brought in any models. I guess I have to work at this too. So it really kind of is a two-way street. And
Gotcha.
so I've had people get on the floor in, I think, in short as 4 months. And then some who, you've had to kind of push, they're ready, but they might not be feeling ready. And maybe we're at the 13th, 14th month point and you're like, come on. But the thing that is really cool is once I see them, I have two stylists run right now. One is did the apprenticeship, one did school, and they excel at blow dries. They love blow drying. So I put them on the floor for blow dries while they're finishing their program. If one of them excels at highlights, or we'll do that. We'll work with their skill set to help, give them the experience with the customers, give them the experience with potential callbacks, timing, everything that can happen. We kind of put them on the floor 1 day a week to say, okay, how's it going? We check back in 4 to 6 weeks. Were there a lot of callbacks? How did you feel? How are you feeling? Do you want to add another day? And so we build their repertoire that way.
And are these stylists, do you have tiered pricing, or is everybody charged the same?
We do have tiered pricing. So they come in at kind of like a basic rate, at starting rates, and then as you go up, it's really it's, as you are built, as you have a waiting list, then that's a different conversation with stylists once they've
Right.
kind of arrived, for lack of a better word. I hate that word, but arrived. Then it's a really conversation. What do you want to charge? Tell me what you want to do behind the chair. How's this going to work for both of us? Let's do it. I truly want to honor the artists. And sometimes it's a conversation. Okay, if you charge that, let's look at the impact that may have on your book. And so we have those conversations, and really I'm about giving them the power to kind of run a little business behind their chair.
Nice. So the customer knows that does the customer know that they're new? So that based on the
Yes.
price or the
Yeah.
title
Yeah.
or?
It's with the price.
Okay.
It's price point, and we explain it to them a lot. What's really cool is because while they're also bringing in models and doing that, they're assisting, typically assigned to one person or a couple people. So your guests and all of our blow dries in our salon are complimentary. So for color. So all of the assistants are blow drying our color guests. So they're building this relationship. So
Nice.
oftentimes I travel a lot. They know Crystal is with me. Well, can Crystal do my hair? And so they already know they're new. They know there's an expectation, but they know them. So that model has really worked for us with them being a familiar face within the salon. And the beautiful thing about the reputation we have built that we're so grateful for is they get booked pretty fast. And so that 1 day a week is really important for them to see, can I handle this? Okay, I can do it in this amount of time. Okay, let's start
Totally.
a little bit longer. Because once they start running, it's hard to kind of, change the pre-booking. We do a lot of pre-booking. So we really want to make sure that they're comfortable. I have some stylists that may not want to take people in between. That's cool. I have stylists that want to book a haircut on every hour and will adjust their people to make sure they're getting one on every hour. And it all works. It all works.
Nice. Nice. I like this. I feel like the 1 day a week opportunity. I love that idea. I also like the idea of people being able to perform services that they're strong in. I feel like I feel like the tiered pricing helps with that, like kind of transitionary process. That's not just from like 1 day you're an apprentice, next day you're a stylist, but you're charging what all the top stylists in the salon are charging at the same rate. I feel like that gives you a lot more flexibility as a business. Would you say
It
that's right?
does. Yeah, it does, and it gives them a goal, but it also gives the ability for them to be booked and to work out those kinks. And for for the guest knows I could pay $80 for this haircut, or I could pay 125 for this, and maybe I didn't have a good experience at the 80. I'm going to go to the 125, or vice versa. So
Right.
and we don't want to ever you know dictate someone's budget. People have budgets of all kind, and we are genderless pricing, so the price is the price regardless of gender. We're all inclusive in that way, so it's one price per and so having those tiers gives the ability to start them on the floor quicker as
Nice.
well.
Cool. Um, okay. So I feel like that was an important piece of information that didn't come out in the beginning. So you're gender neutral or
um,
genderless pricing.
Genderless,
Um,
yeah.
okay.
So I think that we did that. Oh my gosh, I've been passionate about it for a long time before I bought into the salon. Um, and then I think it was last year, even the NBC News came out because it caused a little uproar in Arlington now with lots of nice comments. But yeah, for years it's been men's price, women's price, and men have always paid less. our team takes the same amount of time. They were booking an hour for men and an hour for women.
Yeah.
And, we do a hot towel ritual. I have stylists who give an amazing consultation to every single guest. Doesn't matter if you think they're just going to get a clipper cut. And so for them, it was, when we decided as a team to go to, non-gendered pricing, it was, well, do we have to lower our women's haircuts? And I was like, no, we're going to elevate everything to that point. And that's another reason we have different price points. Is if someone doesn't want to pay that, we can,
Nice.
there's other options. So it was,
Nice.
it was a scary, my business partner and I, he's like, oh, what do you think? How do you think it's going to impact? And we sent out a mass text and we did an Instagram blog. And then on our computer system, we could get texts, and we started getting all these texts, and I was so nervous to open them. And they were like, thank you. I have one woman a woman called and said, I moved an hour away, but this is so important to me. I will be coming back. So it was like such a nod to how I strongly felt about people's individualism and assigning gender to a haircut. Who's to say a short haircut has to be male, or who's to say a long layered cut has to be female? And so, it was a good.
Nice. I love this. That is another conversation I would love to dig into with you at another time. So far, 2 conversations for a future date. Okay, so I think I get a pretty good idea. So what if someone's listening and be like, yo, you forgot to, not you, Robert, the host, you forgot to follow up with what if I'm a stylist and I'm not new?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So same kind of thing. So I had a girl come in 2021 from Cleveland, Ohio, and 18-year stylist. She came in. We met, really liked her, and knew she'd fit in to our team. She was clearly someone who was passionate about what she did, team player, and she brought in a model. We had her do a mannequin or a model because she was from out of town. And then we put her behind the chair, and I trusted her assessment of herself. We started her out at a mid-range so that she can build, and then have grown from there. And so, we are always open to bringing on seasoned stylists. As long as it's a good fit. It's really about, do you want to work together to grow the next generation? Like when we have our associates or assistants, they're not assistants. They are our team members. They're, we all work together, and we are wanting them to take them from A to B. And so as long as somebody can join our collective who is willing and sharing their art with somebody else, showing somebody a technique or sharing, then we're down for that.
Gotcha. So you're looking for culture fit, and you said they have to do an audition kind of thing.
They bring in a model just to,
so you can see.
Yeah, we built our business on a look. It was a natural looking in a 12, like, it was very interesting. It's so different than where we came from. Everybody was 4 weeks. Here we have really strived. It's not really a lived in look. It's really embracing women's gray, but our guests on average come back every 12 weeks. So for busy working moms in this demographic, they can't be tied to a chair every 4 weeks. So we have highlighting methods and balayage methods in which we gives them that longevity in between and still looks great. And so it's just making sure that whomever we bring on, are open to coloring or giving the guests that same kind of, with their own twist, deliver the same.
Nice.
And, the other thing I forgot to mention is that our company has been non-tipping for 20 odd years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then so I got in 2020, and then the pandemic happened. And after the pandemic, many guests insisted on tipping the team. And I said, that's fine. There's many of us who don't take the tip, we're just not used to taking them. But so now we're even flexible in that as well. So it's tips are not required or expected. If you want to leave something, you can do so. But we ran a successful business for a very long time without tipping. And stylists were very successful.
Wow, 20 years. I
Yeah.
feel like that narrative on social media isn't that old. That's
Yeah, it was very strange. It was 1995 when, or something so older than me, when he started that, I believe. And it was a stylist who came up to him and said, I just did this amazing updo and she gave me $2 and I want to throw up. She said, let's raise our price and I don't want tips. And so
gotcha.
as a team, I think they had 12 people at the time, they voted and it was just non-tipping. And
Wow.
so we brought that philosophy here, which, in the beginning worked for us too, because a lot of Europeans, a lot of cultures come into the DC area who aren't used to tipping. And so it's never expected from our team. Our team, it's just here and there people will do it, but the majority is still non-tipping.
Cool. Well, I think that's a good segue into offerings. So you are a commission based, is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yep. And then is there like a tiered structure to that, or is everyone on the same path, or how does that, like, what can a stylist expect
Yeah,
in
there's
terms of that?
opportunities for growth and commission. We also do retail commission. We pay hourly versus commission to ensure that someone is, being successful. That's the other reason that we put them on the floor one day a week, is to make sure that um, their income isn't greatly affected. Oh, now you go on this floor for 5 days a week and you have 3 clients. I would never do that to somebody. So yeah, it's really always open, and as your prices raise, it's opportunity for more income. And we're
So
out.
you said the hourly versus commission. Where are you saying that
So
you get
so
paid like a guarantee basically?
if
Like what do you?
so there yeah, so when somebody first goes on the floor and they have and it's like hourly versus commission. These are the amount of hours they worked. Here's their pay rate. What they brought in is their commission higher than that, then they're going to get paid the commission
Gotcha. Okay.
for
So
sure.
they're guaranteed an income during this
Yeah.
process of
Yes.
transitioning on the floor. That's nice to
Yes.
hear. I'm
Yes.
sure that's going to be popular. Okay. And then, um, so you mentioned the type of person you're looking for, the process of hiring, what you're offering, and what type of things can we look forward to seeing for the future from you and your team?
Yeah, we just started a process of partnering. One of the reasons we brought on Color Space is that it's a hair color line that's independent, founded by two hairdressers who were really, really big impact on my life. Lupe Voss, who has impacted the Aveda world, but she really has been a mentor to my team. We've taken classes with her over the years. So we're about looking at brands that are by hairdressers, founded by hairdressers,
Nice. I love
really
that.
keeping this, artist to artist versus big conglomerate, big, there's boards and stuff. Really, we really want to support that type of movement in the industry. And we are all about clean product. Um, so those kind of things you'll be seeing more.
Cool. I
Yeah.
love that. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then as we wrap it up, do you have any last pieces of advice or anything to say to anybody that's out there looking to either start a salon or maybe wanting to join a salon, whether it's yours or maybe they're listening and they're not in this area? Do you have any last piece of advice? Maybe let's say two people, the rising stylist who likes what you have to say, but maybe maybe they're not in this area, and like how to look for a salon and what to look for. And then the second person would be like, they love what you've done with your business, and they had a dream of opening a salon, and any piece of advice for those two people?
Yeah. So for the rising stylist, it's really, finding a salon where it's going to be a good fit. And I always say, like, go into the salon on a Thursday or a Saturday and just sit in the waiting room for a few minutes, or see how you're greeted when you walk in the door. Um, kind of look at the work that's going on and see if it feels like your vibe. It's really important to find a place where you feel comfortable and supported to grow, because no matter how amazing we are and how technically sound you are outside of when you come out of school, there's so much growth that happens, whether it's with the client relationship, whether it's technical. There's so much growth that happens within the first 5 years of your career, that find a place that you feel supported. That would be
Nice.
my advice. And then, yeah, if you're interested in opening a salon, follow your dream, and there's ways to make it happen, whether it's, working some kind of deal, or financing, there's going independent, or, starting small with 2 or 3 chairs. There's a way to achieve everything. And it's staying focused, and really, it's all about your intention. What is my intention? And if you're putting good things out, man, it's going to come back to you.
I love that. I love that. That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is such a great conversation. It was so fun to learn about your business and your brand. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And for you listening or watching, please give us a rating and follow us. Please, like, subscribe, follow. It helps support us. Also, if you want to know more about Therese Snow's salon, Casals Salon Collective, then or if you want to reach out, there will be links in the description below. So please feel free to follow those and check out Casals and Therese Snow.
Thanks so
Sound
much.
good? All
Yep.
right. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. So that was great.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved hearing about your salon, and I
Yeah.
loved everything you're saying and the way you talked about your business. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And these two topics,
Yeah.
the one I wrote it down. Oh, the gender pricing, and then our schools, what's
Yeah.
the situation. I feel like a lot of the problems that I have with Gen Z has more to do with the fact that they don't have the flexibility to earn an income while they're in school at a salon, like a day school. So like day school students, they might be able to work during the day. So that's like
Yeah.
good. But for us, we need someone to close, because
Right.
we have like permanent assistants who they take care of the shop. But they have to come in so early to clean the salon.
Right.
They're like really
Right.
overworked. So it's like, well, I can't hire anybody, that's in
I
school. It's
know.
like literally impossible. And I asked one student, I was
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
can you ask your school if you can maybe work a day at a salon and then do like a double shift at school, do like a night and day school, or like what type of flexibility do you have? And it sounded like there was some flexibility, but it also sounded like I don't know where this idea of I should focus on school first came
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. It's so aggravating, because it's this, we're getting the same messaging. People were coming up to us saying the same thing. I really want to work in a salon, but they said I should focus on school. And I mean, it's this almost gatekeeping of where the kids go. Like, I don't like that. It's just very,
Yeah.
it should be flexible. And to be in school, like, do a part-time program where they do 4 hours a night. Yeah, it
Thank
takes
you.
longer. That's how
Yes.
and when we had the school in Ohio, I fought and fought, and we started a part-time program, and it was packed, because it was young moms, or their husbands were firefighters and were home during the day, so it was just, it's important to be
What
able
about
to.
what about okay, this might be a big move here, but what about, and I'm not keep you any longer because I
Oh,
know we're
you're
past
fine.
our
I'm
time.
good. No, I'm good.
Um, what about like I mean, I feel like you might have to lobby the local government for this, but what if like they should be able to get a certain amount of hours at working at a
So
school,
we
like a
did,
work
I
release
mean,
thing?
we did in Ohio, they had an internship thing, and I believe it was maybe 150 hours they could get by going to a salon. It differs state by state, and that's a whole other thing, is why isn't there a universal licensure
Right.
test or whatever? But it differs state by state. It would be beneficial. It would be absolutely beneficial. And that's what I love about the apprentice program. I mean, these kids can get paid while they're going to school. Yeah, it takes twice as long, but I'll tell you, they come out, they're tight. They know just as much, if not more, than the ones graduating from school. And
Yeah.
they've got, the thing they have more is confidence, because they've been working in a salon for 2 years. They've been talking to clients. They've been seeing interaction. So it's definitely a food for thought.
Yeah. I'm gonna look into this internship at the state level and see like Maybe
Yeah.
we can get, I want to get DC to allow, DC, you have to have 500 hours out of school before you can start an apprenticeship program. So I'm
Oh,
meeting with,
really?
yeah, I'm meeting with one of the owners of T Spa in
Huh?
DC, and I'm going to ask him about this 500-hour thing. But from what I understand, another salon owner who looked into it, he said that he couldn't find any school that would give you the 500 hours, because it's not 500 hours and then drop out. It's like 150 hours here and study in this
Yeah.
category,
Yeah.
200 hours. And it's like like gatekeeping. It's like
Yeah.
forcing these kids to go into debt just to they can start earning money. It really bothers me.
Yeah, and the cost. I mean, and we were. I mean, it's even gone up now. But that's when we started to back out and be like, this isn't fucking fun anymore. This is like,
Yeah.
we loved teaching and we love the industry and let's do hair shows and let's take photo shoots. And then it's you didn't meet your compliance or this many students, aren't working or it's just so much, so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right, cool.
all
Well,
right, thanks, man.
I want to host, I'm putting together an event
Awesome.
where we will bring local stylists, only stylists, salon owners, various levels. And the two topics I want to talk about are pricing, both
Yep.
like, the gender pricing, time pricing, and also difficult conversations about pricing with clients. And then another panel to talk about changes in the industry culture,
Yeah.
technology, business models, and et cetera. And I think this topic of schools is going to be kind of go under that.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I'm looking at like end of January for that. So
Perfect.
I'll
Let me
kind of
know. Yeah.
January 29th right now is the date. So
All
if
right.
you want to set that on your
I
calendar,
will.
and
I will
we'll
for
have more
sure.
of that to come. But anyway, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your
You
evening.
too. Uh-huh.
Okay. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.